Hey guys, Pete here with Top Deck Cards and Games. Today we're going to be doing another deck tech. I know, 2 in a row. It's a little weird, right? But today we are going to go over a fire-based deck. I'm going to utilize some of those new things from Flash Fire. And this fire deck's a little bit different. A lot of people are trying to utilize the new Charizard cards that have come out. And while I can understand rightfully so, I still personally think that they're not that fantastic. They do look cool, I will give them that. But anywho, today's deck is pretty much going to be focused around Delphox, and with some help. So, with this deck we are running 16 Pokemon. We are running a full 4-4 line of Delphox. We're not putting in any Braxines yet, relying on rare candies. We're running 3 offs of Entei EX, 3 offs of Victini EX, and a 1-1 line of Pyroar. The 1-1 of Pyroar simply to utilize his ability, which is to prevent all damage done to him by attacks from your opponent's basic Pokemon. So, it can definitely do some stalling. So, the idea behind this is preferably to get started with Victini. We're going to be turbo energizing, so we're going to be looking through our deck for 2 basic energies and put them on our bench however we like. Want to start getting things powered up quickly. We have Entei for Grand Flame, which does a solid 90 damage and allows you to take a energy from your discard and attach it to one of your bench Pokemon. So, more acceleration. Delphox is definitely the star of the show with its ability Mystical Fire. Once per turn, you can pop it and draw cards till you have 6 in your hand, which is really powerful. Think of it kind of as a poor man's Tropical Beach. With that, in this deck we'll be running 10 fire energy. The counts are a little bit low because we're going to be recycling this energy throughout. It's easy enough to where you'll draw into it as you need, and we're just going to keep getting it out of the discard, back onto our Pokemon as much as possible. So that is what we're going to try to do today. So we have a 26 count total for energy and Pokemon. Let's look at our trainer count. First, we're going to start off with our A-Specs and Supporter line, in which our A-Spec of our choice today is Computer Search, although this can easily be switched out with Dowsing Machine. Whichever one that you think will be better, personally up to you. I think a little bit later I'm going to do some testing of my own with just utilizing Dowsing Machine and see how much that works. But both of them are pretty solid. I think Scramble Switch is not going to be all that great of an idea in this case, just because of you want to get things out as quickly as possible in comparison to just switching something out. So with this line, we are running supporter lines. We're running 3 Professor Junipers, we're running 3 Skylas, we are running 3 Ns, 2 of the new Lysandre, and 2 Blacksmiths. Now, the Lysandre and Blacksmith count you can adjust to however you want. Granted, with everything in a deck you can adjust how you want. But this is the setup that I've chosen. Junipers, refresh the hand. Skyla to get out that critical trainer that you need, most likely rare candy. We have Ends to do a little bit of hand disruption on the opponent or refresh your hand in the beginning, either way. Lysandre's, I'm still debating whether or not it's viable for either 1 or 2. Lysandre has that powerful ability of switching your opponent's active Pokemon with one on their bench, you having the choice. Blacksmith, also new, having the effect of attaching 2 fire energy cards from your discard pile onto one of your fire Pokemon. Great acceleration, especially if something was freshly knocked out. You can play that and get a good chunk of that energy back on the field. Stadium. If it wasn't for certain other stadiums being played, I wouldn't really run anything in here, but stadium of choice for this build is Skyarrow Bridge. Reduces the retreat cost of basic Pokemon by 1, which is really handy for Victini EX, who already has just a cost of 1, making his retreat free. Helps out with Entei if I have to retreat him, because his retreat cost is 3. A little rough, but ideal because I'd only be throwing away 2 fires, and I could Blacksmith those back. So, the stadium you can switch out to however you really want to use it. If you personally own Tropical Beach, you could throw Tropical Beaches in here to help the beginning game setup. You could throw in Battle Cities if you're feeling especially crazy. And we'll move on to our tool and item lines. In here we're only running 4 tools, and those tools are Silver Bangle and Muscle Band. Silver Bangles work fantastically on Delphox for that extra 30 damage against EXs, because primarily you're still going to be fighting nothing but EXs. And Muscle Band's here to just help bump up damage by 20 from Entei if you need, or in the rare cases if Victini's starting to slam things, you can up Victini's damage. Next up, for item wise, we are running 4 Ultra Balls, 4 rare candies. As for the obvious, we've got to get our Pokemon out there. We can't really make any usage of Team Plasma Balls because there's no Plasma Pokemon in here. You could make usage of Level Ball to get out Fennekins or the Litleo, but that's just so... It's such a little thing that you're trying to do that it seems inefficient to put those in. Heavy Balls, the only thing a Heavy Ball is going to grab out of this deck is Entei EX, which can be useful, but it's not useful to tech in a item line just for one single Pokemon. So Ultra Balls seem to be the good way to go here. 4 rare candies, because we're running a 4-4 line of Delphox, we want to try to get those out as quickly as possible. Do run 2 switches here for basically the in case of emergency button. We hit that when we need to get ourselves out of a bind. A one off of Super Rod to if I had to discard some Pokemon while getting set up, I can just get them right back into my deck. Pal Pad, if I burnt too many Blacksmith or Lysandres too early and I need it back, I can get those from my discard, shuffle them back in my deck. One off of Professor Letter is a good way in the opening to at least get an energy in your hand so you can start getting the acceleration going, and same with the Fiery Torch. Fiery Torch, one of the new trainer cards. Discard Fire Energy card from your hand. If you can't, you cannot play this card, and then you just draw 2 cards. I only run 1 Fiery Torch in this build because we're relying so much on Delphox that we should ideally have one up by turn 2, which means drawing may not be as powerful, especially if we have 2 or 3 Delphoxes set up. So that's what we're trying to do with this deck, and this is, to me, the ideal build at the moment. As I still play test and tweak this thing, I'm going to make adjustments, and I highly suggest that everybody else who's interested in this build should do the same. Everybody should be running a deck build that is more personalized for how their playstyle is. So, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, at least got some decent information out of it. A different take on fire. It's not the typical Charizard, so. And as always, subscribe to us on YouTube for notifications on future videos. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter for more information and for local events, postings, and all that fun stuff. So once again, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you later.